This is called I Took the Train Early on the Day I Came to See You. I took the train early on the day I came to see you because there was silence. I left my winter shirts at home. I took many more trains until my closet was full, relatively. There was a man on the train whose name was Joseph. He said for some reason, hello, and how are you, though there was the phone call that morning, which was anyway why the train I made the transfer 3 bags, and my hands were disappearing one by one in them, but I thought you'd have liked to know about Joseph. You know, I was wearing pink because, dear, I hate the past unreal conditional, which is what I use now in that I'm not over. This is as clear as I want to make it, I think, and anyway, I didn't see you, because that's not the way the Jews do it. We keep the boxes closed as a sign of respect. This is all I want to say. This is the truth.
It is the nurturer in me, the mother spirit, some universal water enabling weeds. But what is left in the aftermath? What vessels stay watertight? What conscience bears the weight of dignity willingly in absentia? Must I know what remains before I know what still is the daunting task of circuitous logic? The holiest of clergymen is subject to the same ethics. We will fail from time to time. It's a matter of standing by and keeping private, or publicizing when you're funny in a good-humored way, so long as nobody gets hurt, something buried under the mattress until you stick an arm under once more. The worst thing anyone can do is believe there is a difference between take me down but don't leave me there, you can steal from me. I will dig with you to the darkest, but don't go with all the stuff. Give me something, 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 one little piece for my little mantle. Let me hold one small, soft shard of this could have been so long as it is never going to, and in exchange I will be at peace with what is donated, in favor of the worst odds, and despite continuing simply because small minds forget what they are looking for. Look anyway. I look at everything. The hints are everywhere. The more I look, the more I've laid it on you this minute, and you do not deny. How couldn't you see it yourself for the first time, that opportunity, and now we are just us and the world that greets us differently. My guards have been on permanent leave since your face. It's exciting to be unprotected, sure, but you always wonder what's going to happen and who controls us anyway. It could be chemistry or God or both, but there still are worlds of different worlds among trees. In buildings with quiet rooms, I keep being found when I know there's nobody there. And we start the purgatory all over again. Oh, will I or won't I, or will you make me, or will I have to apologize to myself for this fervently despite having already been forgiven? And until what point do I get to make the from the get-go speech? And I'll tell you the deep dark too. I mean, I have it in here somewhere. It just needs a little help finding its way out the way we all do when we're in a new place. And that's just it, isn't it? Time is a new place, so give me the map, the atlas, the license to navigate. I'll go if you go, but there's no way to know your promise is good. I don't take your currency, no traveler's checks, no outside languages either. Do it my way, or go someplace else. Oh, now you've learned some sensitivity conducting an orchestra. I hear it down there. I'm going to learn the soprano. Shrill for certain, but on key no less will suffice for the big time. Acting, always, performing, always for some local arena. As soon as it's familiar, it's been spoken about too much. Let's go. You and I both need new territory. I think I found something. In a minute, if you wait by the side door, you might find something too. It won't be perfect, but it will be easy enough.
After you're gone for a day or two, I realize my apartment is a mess. I realize I should probably take care of that. And I set out like a tiny Spanish crusader, emptying each mug of cold and golden tea, retrieving and recycling each crumpled white ticket stub or receipt with the zeal and ardor of an evangelist. My small apartment will be a house of godliness before lunchtime. I consider scolding you for the half-full soda can left by the television, and then I find your inside-out fuzzy black sock next to my bed, the last hazy shroud you removed before bearing your familiar topography to my conquest-hungry eyes. I would lay claim to your every hill and valley before lunchtime. If you told me then, sitting in that creaking wooden chair in the deserted backwoods green cafeteria of our small high school, that soon we would be soldered soul to soul, carefully stitching delicate long-distance threads, searing each suture with desire and steadfastness over state boundaries along yellow highway lines, I would never have imagined saying anything close to, I know. I thought you hated my guts and found my idiosyncrasies coarse and my speech clamorous at best, but you loved me. In your quiet grace and my cautious hearty laughter, you loved me. And years later, we are parts of a whole, divided only by a couple 100 miles. It's not that bad. Could be worse. You drive to see me on the weekends, leaving traces of yourself along the way. An ATM receipt, a shed hair on the heathered concrete ground of an Exxon parking lot, a bit of black rubber on the black asphalt from hard braking in a train wreck Philadelphia intersection. And when you finally arrive, and we hover above the earth in the soft comfort of my jersey sheets and each other's arms, and you slip from the confines of this city after 48 hours, you linger. Your Armani and sweat-soaked white t-shirt lies defeated in my laundry basket, stripped off in earnest after we came home from seeing the Dead Milkmen play a house show, saturating the cotton remnants of my past few days with your smell. And I try to piece together your presence, fading like a dream from which I've just awoken, desperately trying to reassemble your parts. I collect your teacup and stationary silver spoon, your half-empty soda can left in passing by the television, and with them, reconstruct your image.
This poem is called Found. Hey, stranger. Oh, who is this? I'm looking for this ugly girl. She claims to be my best friend, but then she never calls me. Lily, I'd like you to find out as much as you can about a person. So this symbol means lies in or belongs. Excuse me, 8.1 is integration by parts. What you're doing is 9.1, arc length is 9.1. Oh, yes, thank you. I have the old edition. What is new with West Nile virus? Thank you for your participation in the awareness drill. Please visit website at Hang Purse Here. And he said, yeah, I'm going back to this girl's place. And I was like, girl? Which girl? Hey, I know that girl. I'm going back to this girl's place, blah, blah, blah. What was the blah, blah, blah? There was no blah, blah, blah. He was just, the situation can be displayed in a diagram similar to that developed for Daisy World, Chapter 2. Survey for West Nile virus infection in free-ranging American alligators in Louisiana. Shelter thank you issued at his name marked in epic. F of X is in here when X is in here.
He said it gets me high for about 10 minutes. And these are the things that I am not allowed to say. I like burning bridges. I hate women, and I am one of them, and I build burning things to you, and by writing I remember, and that's when I make memory up and into you, and so the uniform cough disturbs me, and we've got a topless situation, and yesterday I said something about an African nation, but all I heard was, and if, of course, it changes, and if, of course, it changes, course, if it changes, course it, if it change, is it, of course, or if it changes.